What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the joiners, and that would be the members of the channel, the people who join, not some guy named Joiner. Shout out to the joiners, shout out to the Point of View crew, and trip on this. In today's video, I have 3 different stories of institutional stickings that I did. And I'm not one to come on here and brag and boast. And this isn't even much of a boasting, but I was what they'd call stab happy back in the day. I was stab happy. I like to get my poke on, and I like to put in work. I was trying to make a good name for myself. I was trying to make a good name for Bakersfield. I was trying to make a good name for Rexland, and I would put it down. Now, when it came to slinging those dogs, was I the toughest? That's a hard no. I never been trained in Kung Fu, homeboy. I never did wrestling or jiu-jitsu. Just straight up learn how to fight by losing fights and getting busy in the streets. Not the toughest when it came to slinging the dogs, but I never ran from a fight. I will stay there and get my butt kicked, brother. Be that as it may, let's get on to this video. The first story was at CMC West. Now I'm on CMC West level 2. And across the street, there's CMC East, level 3. Now, CMC East, level 2 is not the hardest yard. There's some POSs there. Of course there is. It's a level 2. And brother, it's not the hardest yard. But it's not green lit like CMC East was. CMC East literally had a green light on it. Can't go, don't go. If you go, you better leave. The problem with CMC East is they have what they call A quad, B quad, C quad, D quad. 4 quads. A quad, the prison officials, CDCR, will call an active yard. But we as the inmates, who have the final say-so on such matters, say it's not an active yard. It's inactive, you're a POS if you're there. Why? Because B quad, C quad, and D quad are full of trash. That's where they send the cops, that's where they send the judges, that's where they send the SCX offenders. There's just a bunch of trash there. And how can you be active on A quad when you bump into those dudes from B, C, and D at school, at the library, at work? You walk past them in the hall, you're just too close. You're just too near me not to hear me, as they would say. Dude, you're not active if you're on A quad. That being said, since CMC West was a level 2, CMC East is a level 3, those dudes on that 3R would drop points, and what do you think they'd do? Send them right over there to CMC West. So, hey, you're level 2 now. We're going to endorse you across the street to CMC West. So we are on guard over there waiting to smash dudes from CMC East. And so when people would come up, when they would show up, you would say, hey, did you come from reception? Did you come from CMC East? Unless it's totally obvious. There's ways you could tell. Sometimes you can't, and you ask. So the dude showed up from Ridgecrest. Not my cup of tea. A little bit of a sloppy dude. Just because you're my homeboy from Bakersfield, Kern County, does not mean I'm going to kick it with you. I'll have your back maybe a little bit more than others. I'll give you a little bit more of others, of my stuff and my time. But I'm not just going to walk the yard with a lame because he's from Kern County. He's not cut from the same cloth, homeboy. We can't do it. But it's my job to push up on him, check his paperwork, and get the get down. So I see him. What's up? Hey, homeboy, what's up? Splinter from Bakersfield. Where did you come from? Reception or CMC East? And he said, bro, I just came from reception. He even tried to be a little bit of a smart ass about it. Like, dude, you don't see the bus from Wasco and then people there, you know? And I was like, I didn't see it. Not looking for it. I just saw you, and I want to ask you, I don't want to trust my visuals. This is a verbal thing, homeboy. Talking about. Anyways, he said, came from reception. Cool, dude. You got a pair of shoes. I'll give you a little care package. You got what you need. Dude, it went a couple of days later. Just funny that we were in the same area, that we were walking by, someone went the opposite way and said to him, hey, what's up, bro? What's up? And instead of him turning back and saying, hey, what's up, I thought it was very, very fishy, brother, because he looked away. Someone walks by and sees you, what's up, and you look away. So I went and found that dude. And I said, hey, where'd you know this guy from? He said, CMC East. Which is funny because what do you think happened to him? He got just a couple of days later, and then it embarrassed the town he was from. I'm not going to say what town because I have respect for him. But I told him, hey, you don't know your homeboy? He's from CMC East. You guys didn't ask him. You guys didn't check him. He freely admitted it. Like, oh, no, brother, we didn't know. She's good looking out. And he ended up getting removed just a couple of days later. But first I had to deal with Ridgecrest. And I pushed up on him. I said, dude, that you came from CMC's, bro. You looked me right in the eye and lied. I guess you're trying to cover your ass. I guess I can't blame you, but you came from CMC East. And then I said, you know what? I need to see your 128G. 128G. Paperwork is good, but it's not all the way good because, you know, if it's 2005 and you got busted for a burglary, that's what your paperwork's going to show, your court paperwork. But what about that SCX crime you got in 99? You're not going to have the paperwork for that, are you? But it'll be on your 128G, which is everything you've ever done. And they give them to you right when you get to CMC West. Let me see that 128G. And he was playing with me. He didn't want to give it to me. And I just said, dude, I'm just going to remove this dude. I'm just going to get that ass, homeboy. Now, we had just got a dude named Duncan in the TV room. Beautiful place to attack somebody. TV room. They're watching the TV. It's loud. They can't hear you creep up. And, bro, that's the place to do it. Blind spot like a mofo. We just got a dude named Duncan in the TV room for some weird charges. And they have benches. And I got directly behind Duncan in the row, directly behind him. But when we started attacking, he stood up and flayed and it knocked me down. So I thought, when I get this dude in the TV room, I'm not going to get in that row. I'm going to get in this row back here. But as it turned out, my arms weren't quite long enough. It was a little bit of a homeboy. I went in the row behind him, and I reached and almost could, because I wanted to grab his hair and pull him back. And I just got like a little bit of the back hair. My arms weren't long enough. The benches would move. I try to not move them. They make noise. I'm trying to creep on him. Reach, grab his hair, go to pull it back. Hair slips out of my hand. But I just came with it anyway. I got him in the ear. A big slice in his ear. Blood everywhere. Then I came with a couple more. He got up. He ran out. I got up. I ran out. He went straight to what you'd call the duty office. So it went straight to where the cops are. And that's kind of a good thing about having a blockazo. Is what I guess happened. Because I introduced myself to that dude as Splinter from Bakersfield. I didn't say my name, Chris Burton. So I don't know if he told the cops, because bro, he went right over the cops. They came and rolled him up. They locked the yard down. They came and looked. They tore up that dorm looking for the piece. They went through all of Tim Barracks looking at our knuckles, but they never got me. I'm thinking, did he say Splinter? They don't know who Splinter is? But I did say Bakersfield as well. They could have pulled up everyone from Bakersfield, but I don't know. I don't know. I just know I didn't get caught and I was prepared to go. I had an ass path of tobacco. I thought I was going to the hole. But if you poke someone, they will charge you with assault with a weapon. But if they can't find the weapon, they got to drop it. So I'm like, dude, they'll snatch me up, send me to the hole. I'll end up beating it all in a day's work. It's either that or just let this freaking creeper slide. He didn't want to show me his paperwork, dude. That's a big, huge red flag. On to the next one. I was in Wasco reception. I'd already got into it, the toughest dude in the building as far as the whites go. This dude from Downey has straight up cauliflower ear. There's not a lot of signs that you can look at someone and say, man, that dude's a good fighter. But cauliflower ear is one. If you see a guy and his ear is deformed from fighting, he fought so much, has so much heads rubbing against him and elbows and sliding around on the mat that his ear is deformed and turned to cauliflower, that dude's tough. I don't give a fizz up, homeboy. I'll die on that hill. I already got into it with the toughest dude there. Had cauliflower ear because, look, I borrowed a book. And instead of returning that book to somebody, cauliflower ear is like, let me borrow, let me read it before you give it back to who it belongs to. I'll be real fast. Okay, here. He did return it to me fast, but he returned it to me with the page ripped off and messed up with a rubber band around it. So I had to go give it back to the original owner. And he's like, dude, which made me have to go to the cauliflower ear and go, dude. But I wasn't like, dude. I was like, excuse me, dude. I think you messed up. Bro, I was a first termer, homeboy. I went all the way with the business. This dude made me nervous. He could just whip my ass. I didn't want to have to jam him up over the book. I did. He made excuses. The dude who owned the book didn't want to have to jam him up. It created a weird thing. Then the second dude, toughest dude as far as the whites, this dude named Casey. He also had cauliflower ear. This dude was a straight up badass, buff and ripped, a bully. He was one of the porters. And what he started doing is straight up stealing food. He didn't even try to hide it. I guess he thought, I'm so tough. I'm such a badass. I could do whatever I want. I'll steal food. No one ain't going to say shiznit. Dude, he would rip into the sack lunches and take the cookies out. He was a morning porter. The trays come stacked. He would take off a couple of trays and grab some hard-boiled eggs and put the trays back. And people asked him, dude, you're stealing from us. But no, those are extra trays. Dude, the people start seeing it. The whites were going to bust a move, wanted to bust a move, slow play. And I don't know if they're nervous of this dude, but it took the blacks and the Southsiders coming up saying, if you don't handle him, we will. That fool's ripping into sack lunches. Homeboy got a sack lunch the other day with no graham cracker in it because he took it. You got to get this fool. Dude, he must carry his nuts around like this, homie. Who's just going to steal state food, short somebody of their issue in front of everybody, not even be a sneak thief, just straight up bully? Ain't going to fly. Ain't going to fly. Most of the time, bro, I've done things it's because I wanted to. But I have been a crash dummy a couple times. It was my first term. I was on deck over the book thing and a couple other issues. They'll twist you up sometimes and you get there and you don't know the politics in full because they like to stir the pot. So I was in trouble. I was on deck, crash dummy, told to do it. This is you. And I didn't even really find out the extent of what he was doing. I wasn't privy. I didn't really know. People knew he was stealing. I really didn't. I was kind of just minding my own business and just doing my thing. It wasn't until later that I was like, oh, he was taking hard-boiled eggs. Heard about the graham cracker. Wow, he's breaking into the trays. So they didn't even come and tell me all he had done, just that you got to get him, Splinter. And I'm thinking just sling him. I'm thinking a 3-on-1, 2-on-1, till they put the piece in my hand. And they say, hey, if we don't poke him up, Southsiders and blacks will. We got to bump it up a notch. Because he involved all of the races. So he was in the back doing burpees. Facing this way. Shirt off. And this is one of the only times I've ever stuck someone with it like this. He was doing burpees. His back was to me. And I walked up and 3 times in his back. That fool turned around real quick to see who done it. And I didn't boom, boom, boom. I start running. It's going to attract attention. I flump, 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 handed it off. And just kind of walk away. And he turned around real quick and saw me handing it off. And our eyes met. I was like, no! Knows it's me. Not worried about it because he ain't the type to tell, but he's the type to come get his run back. Usually they won't, though, because they know they're getting checked. So most of the time they leave the building. This dude walked over to one of his homeboys. They start packing it up with tooth powder. They babied it up. And he went and sat on his bed for a couple of days. Only went to chow, sat there reading, and stayed in the dorm. Stayed there. Never did go to the doctor. And I know that I got him good. It was in the back. Didn't hit anything vital. No veins, no kidneys, no livers. But homie, I know it had to hurt. He just would pack it up, put hair, that trisflorate stuff on it, tooth powder, and he just stayed out of the way. He realized it was a checking, and he kicked it. The crazy part about it, and this has happened to me a couple times, after that issue he got, everyone was cool with him. He'd be walking around joking with everybody in the dorm. He knew he got checked. He took it on the chin. He kicked it. And afterward, he wanted it squashed. And he'd be cool with everyone joking around except me. He treated me like a cold piece of work. No, he acted like a cold piece of work towards me. No conversation. Would give me the evil eye because I did it. But did I do it? I didn't do it. I was the crash dummy. I got the thing put in my hand and said, go. You get him or we get you. You must know, Casey, that other people stirred the pot and plotted on you. Be that as it may, that fool stayed. And like I said, a couple times I put in work, smashed someone, and they stayed. And it's always awkward and uncomfortable because they can't get past that you did that to them. But they'll forgive everybody else. They'll forgive the person who called the shot. Next one. And now this next dude I actually did not like. I didn't like him for shit. I mean, Casey, I was scared of him. The other dude from Ridgecrest, I was indifferent. But this fool, I just straight up didn't like him. And his name was Donovan from San Diego. And the reason why I remember that, can't forget it, because Donovan is the prison in San Diego. It's a reception. So, okay, her name's Donovan from San Diego. There's a prison called Donovan in San Diego. This dude drives up. I don't like him. Dude, I have discernment. I feel like I'm pretty good at judging character. I know chicken shit from chicken salad. And I know when you're just full of shit, bro. I'm already knowing. I didn't like this dude. He pulls up claiming wood. Peckerwood, rhyme with us. Peckerwood, San Diego. He has 2 tattoos on him. He has a 13 right here, but a Roman numeral 13 with the X and the 3 dots, 10, 13. That's straight cholo, bro. I never seen a wood with that sort of tattoo. That's straight up Southsider. That's straight up Serrano. Never. I've seen woods with 13. Be 13 with a black cat, or unlucky 13, lucky 13 with some cards, some dice. It's like a tattoo flash sort of thing. You'll see it, but not like that. And then he had the maybe a look of 3 dots on his hands. Dude, hindsight's 2020. Should have been like, dude, you're a Southsider, bro. You run a wood. What's really going on? But bro, I have some shitty tattoos. I have a lot of compassion and mercy if someone has a tattoo. I'm thinking someone just put it on them. You have no idea. I mean, I had a black dude tattooed on my back for about 10 years, and I never ran with the blacks. Someone put it on, and what's this I got? I just thought he just walked into a bad tattoo. Or just whatever his past is. I'm going to take him out as worried as a wood. Now, the woods at the time were balling out of control. We were in pre-trial, A-pod, cells unlocked all day, 8 hours a day. Of course, locked for sleeping, locked for chow, med pass, store, tienda, all that. Cells open. A-pod's a shiznit. This fool's always wanting a cigarette. This fool's always wanting a shot of coffee. He's always wanting a cinnamon roll. And the woods were sitting so fat because they had tobacco on the farm, and we were hitting tobacco fat at court. And if you have tobacco, you have store. If you have the store, you have the power. You know how it works, bro. When you have tobacco, you have it all. The Southsiders didn't really have nothing going on. No one was shooting anything to them at that time. Not the blacks, not the Pisces, the woods. Remember I told you a story about how I hit a pouch of tobacco? I'm an A5. They gave it to someone an A4 and said, when you get back to the pods, give it to Splinter. He comes hollering under the door, hey, Spencer, is there a Spencer there? We're like, Spencer? No, Spencer. He's like, all right. Spencer left, smoked all my tobacco, and later was like, oh, I meant Splinter. Oops. So bro, I went tripping because I had 3 pouches. We were hitting fat. Bodine Odell was taking care of me, homeboy. We were hitting fat. And so that dude from San Diego, Donovan, drove up, saw the woods were sitting fat, and wanted to smoke our cigarettes. He didn't have no store. No one take care of him. Drink our coffee, eat our food. We're making peckerwood pies. We're spreading. We're doing the damn thing. All for one for all. Wood pile, brother. Standing strong. Gonna do it together. But hey, the next week, how the tides can change, we missed a couple pouches. Bodine went to Wasco. He wouldn't shoot me nothing else. We had to get some kites out there. We didn't have much. And what happened? The Southsiders start hitting fat. Now the Southsiders got tobacco. Now we're buying a cigarette for 5 soups off them. Now they got the food, the cigarettes, and the control. Dude, it could flip-flop so damn quick in there. And do you know what Donovan did? He had an old Southsider celly. They always kicked it together. He didn't even really kick it with a little pile unless he's asking for something. So at night, he tells his old Southsider celly, check this out, homie. I'm a Southsider from San Diego. I only claimed wood because I wanted to come up here and smoke up their shit and eat their food. Fuck woods, basically. And he acted like he was going to come out in the morning and throw it out there like that, take the covers off and say, hey, got you. I'm really a Southsider. Ha, ha, ha. Never was a wood. Don't like the woods. You got God. I smoked all your shit. That's how he presented it to his Southsider celly, who said, dude, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. No. Kick back and chill out. If you want to be if you're a Southsider, so you say, we'll introduce you quietly. We need to do it the right way. But you can't come out and say, fuck the woods. I work you guys. You're tripping. So what the Southsider did was he came and told us the exact conversation he had. And he told the homies. And we're like, that dude's got to go. But who's going to get him? The woods or the Southsiders? And the Southsider rep came up to the wood rep and said, look, he's all yours. We don't recognize him as a Southsider. We recognize the fact that someone has to get him, but we say you guys get him. If you don't, we will, and we're going to use the thing on him. So if you do it, you better go full blast. Go full blast. And we just made the baddest piece, brother. And I would love to tell you how we made it, but I cannot, not in this video, but if you come to Instagram, I'll tell you how it was made. Had this piece, but even before the Southsiders stirred the pot and bumped it up a notch and said, hey, we were going to stick them, so you might as well. The woods are already pumping me up. They presented it to me like this. Hey, Splinter, you wouldn't walk to the store if you had a bicycle. Use what you got. Use the damn thing. They just wanted to see it. And I stepped up and I raised my hand because I was the one that talked to him when he got there. I was the one that talked to him the most. And I felt personally disrespected by it. So he's sitting down to play some cards. They call him over to the card table. I come up from behind him. It does seem like a lot of hits are from the back. All 3 of these were. I didn't even realize that telling the stories. Some are up front, but hey, dog, you got to snake it from the back. It is what it is. A lot of times you don't want to be seen. You just got to get those fools out of there. Playing cards, like, he jumps up, takes up his shirt, and starts screaming and runs over to the door and start kicking it. I thought, man, I'm out of here. Man, I'm gone. It took them an hour to come in. When they came in, they slammed us down and they went by and checked everyone's knuckles. That's not the first time that happened. So many times someone's got assaulted with a thing and they come and check knuckles as if your knuckles are going to be damaged. I don't know what they should check for, not knuckles. Maybe we should go around looking for the piece, which they didn't. You know what I chalk it up to, and some of the other homeboys did too? There was some chick, someone would say fine, a cop up in the gun tower thing, some young chick. And all the dude cops are on her like white on rice, on her like a cheap suit. So it's like instead of watching us, instead of doing their job, they're out there trying to get this chick and just flirt with this chick, totally missed the hit. That's fine with me. That's why he went over there beating on the door. Took him a damn minute to even open the door for him. Took him an hour to come in, slam us. This happened at 2 p.m. Slammed us for the night. We're off by 3 a.m. County jail is actually the easiest place to get away with it. Wasco, prison mainline, they're going to want to get the hitter. They're not only going to want to find the piece, they're actually going to want to get someone and arrest them and throw them in the hole. County jail, they're just happy with getting the piece. They're not really looking for the hitter because I don't think they give a shit about the dude that got hit. Oh, well, whatever. One less dude for us to take care of. They're not knowing. They're not caring. Oh, they are knowing. They ain't caring. Don't call him Karen, brother. So, dude ripped off his shirt, crying, kicked the door for a long time before they let him out. Let him out a whole hour later. Lock it up, everyone lock it up. We go to our cells, and then they come around and check our knuckles. Let us off a couple hours later. Bro, there's no way we were going to allow Donovan to play both sides like that. He's tripping. He's a youngster. Youngsters do some stupid ass shit. Hey, homeboy, that's about it. I'm going to go live later. For now, I'm going to cut the string and let it fly. Peace.